Hey folks, welcome to this week's episode of Lunker Junkies TV. This week I'm up on the Upper Rogue, fishing down below Rogue Elk Park, down to Takelma Park. It's a pretty long float. We're on the river probably about 9 hours, but great time of year for the Upper Rogue. It's kind of a mixed bag right now. You got springers still running, a lot of fresh springers in the river, and the summer steelhead kind of overlap. They've started to come up. They follow up and eat those stray eggs from the springers, but great fishing on the Upper Rogue right now. And then here in August, the summer steelhead run will be full bore on the Upper Rogue. Great time to go after summer steelhead and a good shot at double-digit days. So we're out with John Geyer, our good friend John Geyer, John Geyer's Guide Service, and one of his oldest clients, Liz Brown. Pleasure fishing with Liz. She's a wonderful person. Had a blast hanging out with her, and a dang good angler. But anyway, if you know, especially those of you that maybe haven't fished much or haven't done any steelhead or salmon angling at all, and you want to learn it, I highly recommend John Geyer. One of the things that really impresses me about John Geyer is his ability to talk somebody through it. Somebody that's never fished before, he'll put you on a big fish and he's got all the patience in the world, and he will explain and talk you through that fish and help you get it to the boat. And a day spent on the river with John Geyer, you'll walk away from it a lot better angler, a lot more knowledge. So anyway, for those of you that are beginning or even seasoned anglers that want to go out on a fun trip, you can't pick a better guy to spend a day on the river with than John Geyer. Just a blast with him out there. And he takes you out in a really nice Pavati drift boat. So a lot of fun. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with some more Lunker Junkies TV right after this.
Hey, Sean! Oh. Salmon shore! Salmon shore! Yeah! Woo! That's what you come to Alaska for right there, baby. Woo!
Lunker Junkies TV is brought to you by Mark. Get ready for your season for less. Procure Bait Sense and Cures, ruthlessly effective. Lamaglass Rods, fish with confidence. Yakima Bait Company, home of the rooster tail. Shasta Tackle, inventor of the sling blade. Bait Buttons, because presentation matters. B&R Tackle, inventor of the steelhead holy worm. Northwest Sportsman Magazine, chock full of tips, tricks, and useful information. Fish Seward, Alaska, and Oregon Fishing Adventure. Power Drifter Boats, The Real Tech, and Hypnotic Customs Design and Graphics.
First thing I look for, what do they eat?
Yeah.
How did you know? You could tell which.
Yeah, the big bug came out of the water.
Okay.
The little bug was in its mouth.
Cut a lot of steelhead out of this hole.
All right. Nice fish. Where you at, John? Come on, do a nice jump.
Nice little steelhead.
Yeah, we're fired. Oh,
He gone.
Popped him with long distance release.
heck. That's how we buck.
That's the downside to using some of the little flies is you don't get a whole lot of meat to be able to pull them in, and sometimes they just pull out when you get them close to the boat and they freak out. That's all right. We'll get in there and hook another one and hopefully be back to see you soon.
Oh, that was fun though. Yay!
Yeah. It's encouraging.
Yes, it is.
Get another one. Get him. So what we're using today, steelhead fishing on the Upper Rogue, is some people call it an Otis bug, some people call it an ugly bug or anything, paired with a little rubber leg prince nymph, tied just directly to the bend on the hook down to your dropper line. And the bobber we're using is actually just a cheap little kiddie type bobber that clips on the top and bottom. It's got a little weight on the end so you can actually cast it a really long ways without hardly any effort. The rod that we're using with it is a 9'11" Lama glass. It's the Redline series. This one's an 8 to 12 pound, 15 pound Power Pro braid. Gotta have the braid for bobber fishing. It's a lot more effective with mending your line, and sometimes when you're casting really far, you want to be able to get a good hook set on it, on the fish, and that's about it.
How long of a leader are you running between the bobber and the top fly?
8-9 feet. 9 feet probably.
Right on.
Give that one to you. Keep going around. Keep going around, and I'll pull right upriver. So what I want you to do is I'm going to have you pull like this, upriver, and then come up. Go ahead and reel on in.
Every little shake of the head, you can feel that fish. Woo!
That girl.
That's a caught fish.
Alright, let's see what we got here.
A little shaking going on.
Got a native.
Okay.
Cute little summer steelhead on the Rogue River. Kind of about an average sized fish. We'll get him back in the water here.
Love it when that rod goes down.
Oh, just murdering. I love
Yeah, love it. Love it, love it.
it. Oh. I thought for sure that was a salmon.
Yeah.
Hard as that thing went down. Oh, I love the suicidal dumb ones. So today what we're using is the Lama Glass 9'4", 8 to 12 pound rod. Most people consider this rod a steelhead rod. We got it paired up with a Tikka Cayman. Got a great drag on it, nice sturdy handle and everything. You don't have to worry about rubber grips or anything pulling off of them. But these things handle salmon absolutely phenomenal. They're great steelhead rod, nice light enough action for steelhead, and they're cartwheeling and psychotic antics. But they do very, very well for steelhead, and they have the backbone for salmon. Doing quite well on both today, and I'm quite impressed with the Redline series rods. Looking forward to getting a couple of more of them for salmon, a little bit heavier rods for when we run big quick fish and big heavy weight back bouncing and everything. So, but pairing these two together, really can't go wrong with it. We're actually plugging for steelhead and salmon. Most people, when you see them salmon fishing, have a great big plug like this. Got your Maglip 5.0. It's kind of your standard salmon plug. Well, today we're actually running some Yakima bait 3.5s, the Maglips, and we're also running some of these little fellas. Everybody always thinks that when you're catching salmon, you got to go really big, but I have a theory that elephants eat peanuts, and the last couple of salmon we've got are actually on these little plugs here. Get steelhead on them, get salmon on them, just a little bit longer fight, and you run a little bit longer rod with a nice light action. Will absorb those big head shakes and everything. Because we're running such little hooks, which get mangled and stuff when the salmon eat it, so we end up replacing a lot. But that's why we run a steelhead rod, because you can't run a really super tight drag with it. So we just run a steelhead rod. Some guys like to run a sidewash hook, run it off a barrel swivel to get a little more strength off a sidewash hook. You can run a tighter drag. These are a number 4 treble hook. that, you know, they straighten out pretty easy. Most of the time they get mangled in the net when you net a fish, but good sharp treble hooks on them, and you're good to go.
Now the riggings and methods we're using out there today, we're using the Lamiglass Red Line 8 to 12 9'4" rods paired with the Tika Cayman reels. Great setup out there. These were our plug rods for today. Excellent setup out there. These rods handle those big fish, no problem. As John described, we're using some smaller plugs, which you see me do a lot actually, run smaller plugs than most people would run. And I agree with John, elephants eat peanuts. I catch a lot of salmon on even as little as a 2.5 plug, and the advantage is steelhead will hit them too, so you got a shot at both. But excellent setup for the plugging. One thing you heard John mention was running a Siwash hook. Now we were running the Maglip 2.5s and Maglip 3.0s a lot today, and John runs the trebles on both ends. Now the other day I had a situation where I had 9 takedowns, and I mean rod tip to the water takedowns, and then bam, nothing. Time and time again. It was getting really frustrating. I didn't have any Siwash with me or I would have cured that problem, but that is where a Siwash hook will come in really handy. Now when you're running trebles like the plugs come, the fish, if they're short hit, and they'll come up and they'll just barely get that treble in their lips, pop their mouth open, plug's gone. That's what's going on when you see that happen. Now with a Siwash hook, it hangs back there a little further, they come up, they get a good hook in their mouth, and once that Siwash is buried, they're on, they're not going anywhere. So if you have those days where they're kind of short biting, and you're missing, you know, the plug rod buries, and then bam, nothing. That's when you want to go ahead and add a Siwash on there. That will cut down that problem by 90%. So keep that in mind. Always have some Siwash hooks with you for your plugs. Now for back bouncing today, we were running the Lamiglass Certified Pro Kenai Quick Pro Bouncer. We're running a 2-hook setup. So you got your main hook up here, you got a stinger down below, a bead, and a Yakima spinning glow above that. Little beta eggs tied on this upper hook. Deadly combination for back bouncing. And then of course we did some side drifting. Now John is a big fan of the bubble, the float fishing. And I gotta say, I've never had a lot of confidence in float fishing, mainly just, I guess I've never given it a chance. I haven't caught a lot of fish that way, but John is deadly with a float rod. We did a lot of that. We did some side drifting, quite a few steelhead on the side drift rig, little B&R tackle soft bead with a little yarn under it to hold scent. I have caught more steelhead this year on that combination right there. Little B&R soft bead and a little yarn to hold the scent, number 4 hook, than I have anything else. Tika GAAT 3000 series reel on the Lamiglass 9'6", 8 to 12 side drift rod, Red Line series. Great combination. So that's our gear and rigging tips for the day. Don't forget, swing by your local buy mart, get your best deal on most of the gear you see us use here today. Stay tuned. Be right back with some more Lunker Junkies TV. Little Pro Cure Steelhead Combo Super Gel on there. Gets it done. How many are we going out? Right there. 10. Does it?
Bit of weight to him. Oh, that's a nice
There
size
you go,
tail.
Lizzie, you made him back.
That's that wasn't me, it was you. I'm pretty sure.
That's a big old salmon. He ain't ready to be done.
Good job, little lady.
Oh, yay! The skunk is off us! Woo!
All right, so if you want to hold that rod up for me.
Oh,
Nice little fat girl.
oh. Nice.
There we go. Nice little Rogue River Spring Chinook. Took a little steelhead plug. You know, elephants eat peanuts sometimes, so we'll go ahead and let her go and let her do her thing. We're up above Shady Cove today, so we actually have to release all of our natives up river this far. So only hatchery fish get to go home with us today, so hopefully we'll get a couple more and be able to give you a better look of a few more fish today.
Oh, I can get the crowd up there.
I always go right at this big rock right here in front of us, but little Rogue River Summer Steelhead. Oh, he's gonna jump.
Oh my God! Woo!
Oh, you can hold us just a second. Get out from underneath the boat. Ready, Liz? I'm gonna lift him up to you. I got it.
Oh, he released himself too, huh? Okay. Well, that's a pretty one. Wow.
Come on, let me count your fins. Why didn't you fight that hard in the river? All.
All the fins?
Got us little hatchery summer steelhead. I think that one's gonna go on the barbecue tonight.
Great day out there with John, Geyer, and Liz. Had a blast. Again, if y'all want to come out and do this, I highly recommend booking John Geyer. dynamite guy to spend a day on the river with. And as much as I do this, I learn something every single trip out with John Geyer. The guy is just a massive plethora of knowledge, fun guy to spend a day on the water with, and you will learn something. I don't care if you're a beginner or a seasoned angler, there's always something to learn out with John Geyer. So, hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget, every Lunker Junkies TV adventure starts at Weimar. We'll see you next week.
A lot of you have asked me where I get all the information that I share on the show. We try to be real informative. Part of it is doing a lot of trips with great pros and guides in the Northwest. We learn a lot, but some of our resources, we have the same access that you have. Northwest Sportsman Magazine, California Sportsman, Alaska Sporting Journals, all great periodicals. Written, a lot of articles in here written by a lot of great pros and guides in the industry. Buzz Ramsey, our own Randy Wells. A lot of good information in these magazines. So make sure you pick up your Northwest Sportsman magazine and have a little better shot at your trophy next time you're out on the water.
Lunker Junkies TV is brought to you by Weimar. Get ready for your season for less. ProCure Bait Sense and Cures, ruthlessly effective. Lamaglass Rods, fish with confidence. Yakima Bait Company, home of the Rooster Tail. Shasta Tackle, inventor of the Sling Blade. Bait Buttons, because presentation matters. B&R Tackle, inventor of the Steelhead Holy Worm. Northwest Sportsman Magazine, chock full of tips, tricks, and useful information. Fish Seward, Alaska, and Oregon fishing adventure. Power Drifter Boats, The Real Tech, and Hypnotic Customs Design and Graphics.
Born to be fishermen, we were born to be fishermen, so come along with me on Lunker Junkies. Lunker Junkies, we're Lunker Junkies.